Welcome back to another video on my channel, Fruit of the Spirits. Today's question is, was God too harsh on the Israelites in the wilderness? Some feel that after reading the Israelites' journey from Egypt to Canaan, that God was way too harsh on the people. Others believe that they just got there just dessert because they were getting on God's nerves. Like a whole God. I mean, I can kind of see where the first group of people are coming from. If you look at Exodus chapter 32, God dealt a heavy hand on the Israelites after they made a molten calf to worship instead of God. 3,200 people were killed when God told the Levites to end many of their neighbors, and after that, a plague was sent into the camp as well. In Numbers chapter 14, after the Israelites complained about God and attempted to abandon the plan by going back into Egypt, God told them that they would spend an extra 40 years in the desert, and everyone that was over the age of 20 would not see the promised land. There are some other examples of heavy-handedness, but these are the two main ones. So yeah, it does seem harsh, but it's not that simple. At the point God really began to clamp down on them, the Israelites had already given up on the mission, and had decided for themselves that returning to Egypt, the place of bondage that God took them from, was their best option. They weren't interested in any compromises, so much so that when Joshua and Caleb tried to talk them out of it, in Numbers chapter 14 verses 6 to 9, they were ready to stone them. So God actually had a decision to make: let his plan fail and his people run, or make sure his plan succeeds, just without the minutes. I think God would rather choose his own plan, especially because there will always be people in the future who have a better mind towards it, as we can see in Psalm chapter 102 verse 18. Imagine if God had actually allowed those rebels into the land. They would have messed the promised land up, and not fought for the land. It's like the parable of the fish and the net that we find in Matthew chapter 13 verses 47 to 50. When a bunch of fish are caught, you separate the bad from the good. In this case, the people that belonged in the promised land were separated from those that didn't. What God did to the people in the wilderness wasn't just punishment. He also wanted to educate them on himself and his laws. Nobody learns without chastisement, as you can get from Deuteronomy chapter 8 verse 5, and it was expounded upon in Hebrews chapter 12 verses 5 to 11. It is a long passage, so I'll only read verses 6, 7, and 11. For whom the Lord loveth he chasteneth, and scourgeth every son whom he receiveth. If ye endure chastening, God dealeth with you as with sons. For what son is he whom the Father chasteneth not? Now no chastening for the present seemeth to be joyous, but grievous. Nevertheless, afterward it yieldeth the peaceable fruit of righteousness unto them which are exercised thereby. So, as this verse states, chastisement is always necessary for people to grow. Despite all this, you may argue that the chastisement wasn't effective because many of the people died in the wilderness and didn't get to see the promised land. However, in cases like these that affect a whole nation, one has to keep in mind that, yes, the lives that were lost do seem like a huge number, but the nation as a whole, who walked into the promised land, were all faithful worshippers of God, and that's what God was aiming for, and what grants salvation and peace in the end. And that's all for today for Was God Too Harsh with the Israelites in the Wilderness? If you like this kind of content and would love to see more, then there's always the like button, the subscribe button, and also the notification bell, so you can be notified of when I post again. Have a great day, and I'd love to see you soon.